that the homework for today?
That's the homework for today.
The row number system?
Yes.
I have a lot of practice. I think
Oh,
you'll get my help after football practice. I'm just kidding.
good to know.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Last time I did it.
Yeah, that's okay. Different types of practice.
Oh, I can get that.
What's this one called?
It's called title.
Proportions.
Proportional and not non-proportional. Relationships.
Relationship. I'll just skip the one. So one.
Is this going to be a long topic?
Okay, you asked me that. I give my response, and everyone argues with me. So I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Is it easier?
Don't argue.
I don't know. Considering the fact that if it's easy or hard is all a matter of opinion.
What is
Is
the
it-
teacher's opinion?
Oh,
That crap.
that's kind of like it. Felt nice.
Awesome.
I can't. If I do that, my head's gonna go flying
I
off.
already did it,
So
but I
like,
missed
this
it.
thing's gonna
I
be-
can't do that.
What? You missed it. You don't have to worry about it. Go to pop.
I know that's why I missed it. Constant of proportionality.
Constant of proportionality.
Don't start yet. I'm not doing.
I did it.
I'm gonna start whenever I feel like it.
When you
Proportional. Constant of proport. What? Non-proportional.
Non-proportional.
Not proportional. Where did you get an F?
Well, why did you burn it with a glue gun?
No, it wasn't on purpose.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't on purpose.
I know, but like, I don't know. Yes, you do.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet. Oh.
Oh, you
we-
get
then I have one of those.
turkey.
Thanksgiving
is next week, dude.
Yeah, I said it's not even Thanksgiving.
Get a turkey.
What? Next Wednesday.
These are all souvenirs from around the
No.
world.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
No. Set.
Go.
Go. Go.
Let's go. Oh shoot, I gotta make those.
Alright, title. We are viewing proportional and non-proportional relations today. Essential question. What are proportional relations the same as? Because they're very similar to something else we should already know. Part of this is exactly the same as unit rates.
Rational
Okay.
numbers.
And knowing your unit rate will help you know if it's proportional or not.
Oh, yeah.
So vocab is proportional, constant of proportionality, and non-proportional. Okay? So first thing we gotta talk about is that proportional. So I'll give you an example of something that is proportional. Let's see. Let's talk about the game on Wednesday. You guys got a paddle puff game, right? Going on Wednesday in the afternoon? Huh?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Your book and journalism will be out there with their cameras. What?
What?
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm not
I
going
ain't
to
going to
school
practice
Wednesday.
tomorrow. I would say I'm sick. I'm not
I just
sure
said
why.
that. I really don't know if they'll be out there.
They better not be.
All right.
No,
So if you are not playing in the game, you have to pay to go to the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say we want to know how many dollars per student.
It's 2.
Okay. So one student is $2. Two students $2. What?
2 students is $4.
So 2 students is $4. What about 3 students?
$6.
What about 5 students?
10.
What about 15 students?
30.
What about 100 students?
200.
That's an example of proportion.
Really?
Kind of. These are proportional. The question is why? Okay, so just bear with me for a little bit. That's proportional.
Mhm.
Your next example will be based off of last year.
Did it this last year?
No, but it's
No, I have to
based
base it off of something from last year, otherwise it doesn't work.
Oh.
I'm giving you guys a chance to catch up, don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to leave several spaces here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Dollars to student. Okay. I don't even need that long of a line. I'm going to put it nice and short and sweet. This was last year's Stuco dances. If you went by yourself to one of the Stuco dances, how much did you have to pay?
$3.
So one student cost $3. But what if you went with someone?
It was $5.
So 2 students cost $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, by doing that, then that means, for an example, let's say that table and that table, not saying anything about you guys, so don't take it that way. But if those 3 show up all at once, how much would that cost?
7?
Not 7, not 10,
9. Which table?
3.
You guys would get in for 3, right?
Yeah.
And Ruben showed up at the same time. How much total is that?
9?
So that's, or you guys would get in for $5?
8. Okay, they would get it.
Hold on, time out.
8.
Ruben, yeah, Ruben. Now I just can't talk. Ruben, Raquel, and Aiden all show up at the same time. Aiden and Raquel, because they're showing up together, they look like a couple. They can pay $5 and get both of them, right? Again, not meaning anything by that. But there's a third person.
Mm-hmm.
He has to pay the full 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
That comes to $8. But now there's 4 people getting in all at once.
Are both of them
They're
the
walking
couples?
in as couples.
Okay. So that's 10.
That's $10.
You should talk to Matt Angel.
Okay. Because they could get in for 5, right? It's 2 of them. You guys couldn't get in for 5 because it's 2 of you. That makes $10. Okay? This one,
Non-proportional.
It isn't.
it is not at all. It's nowhere close to proportional, and we can prove that from the first 2. Here's how you prove. You divide.
3 divided by 5.
Okay? There's one more thing I want to add on before I go and show you the reason of why. Again, I'm leaving some space, and I'm going to write the constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality simply means The problem has a constant ratio. Which in other words means unit rate. Now, here's probably the most confusing part about this. To find it, you take, and guys, these are just the variables used all throughout math. I didn't pick them, it's what everybody knows them as. Okay, so it's not like one teacher's going to change it from the next. You're going to find y divided by x to equal a k constant. A constant? But what does it sound like?
K constant.
K on.
K on. Guys, this is important for one of the problems we're going to be doing. You're going to use it or write equation by setting it up as y equals kx. Okay? Any questions so far? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to those two tables and show them why they are proportional and why they're not proportional.
Okay.
So if we go back up to that very first one, we are going to find the constant. You are going to write y over x. And I wrote my tables backwards.
You did?
You did.
I did. It's okay.
Is that gonna affect it? Will that
You can
affect?
put a flip-flops on.
Will that affect the way we solve it?
Kind of.
Gosh.
Oh, we'll work with it right now. Okay, so we always want to find the cost over the student, right? You want to know how many students per dollar or how many dollars per student?
Dollars per student.
So the y is going to be the dollars, the x is going to be the students. So we're going to set that up as 2 divided by 1 equals what? What is 2 divided by 1, guys?
2.
2. Okay. Now we move on to the next one. 4 divided by 2 equals
2.
6 divided by 3 equals
2.
10 divided by 5 equals
2.
30 divided by 15 equals
2.
200 divided by 100 equals
2.
What do you guys notice about all those?
Two. Except this is by that one. Oh, never mind. That's
Those are all the same, right? So that means the constant is equal to 2. That is why it is proportional. It has a constant of 2. Okay?
Okay.
So let's check the next one. The Stuco dancers from last year. Do you want to know how many dollars per student or how many students per dollar? So it's y over x, which is dollars per student. So what is 3 divided by 1?
3.
What is 5 divided by 2?
Like 1 point.
Not 1. 2 can go to 5.
2.5.
There we go. Are those even the same?
Not really.
What do you mean not really? Okay, do you want to pay $3 to get in the dance or $2.50 to get in the dance?
That's really fun.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So these two are two different things.
Yes.
There's no constant. It cannot be proportional. Okay, any questions? Any questions at all? All right.
What's 8 divided by 3?
Okay, fine, let's try that. What is 8 divided by 3?
Isn't it 4? No, it's 3 point. 3.5. No. Yeah. Maybe. What is this logic?
Amazing.
And that one is a completely different answer, right?
Yeah.
So what is 10 divided by 4?
10 divided by 4 equals 2.5.
So it does have two of them that are the same, but that doesn't matter. A constant of proportionality has to be the same throughout the entire problem.
So the same 2.5 throughout the entire thing?
Yep. Or the same 3 throughout the entire thing. This year's dances are going to be, it's going to be proportional.
So it's cheaper. It's by $1.
Yeah, this year it doesn't matter. It's just like the games. You pay $2 to get in. That's it. It doesn't matter how many of you guys show up. You still $2 each. Okay? All right, so you ready for some examples? Student pay.
Why did I have it like
This
yellow?
this highlighter has a strong vinegar smell. Like I
Sorry.
That's not.
Yeah, we're going to talk about coffee and cost.
coffee pound.
Yeah. You buy coffee, you get in there so many pounds of bag. Okay? You can buy it from Starbucks. And they sell it by the pound. So for this coffee, you can get 1 pound of coffee for $3.
What?
You can get 2 pounds for $6. 3 pounds for $9. 4 pounds for $12. Is this proportional or
Yes.
non-proportional?
Yeah,
Yes.
proportional.
How do you know?
Because
Because
3 divided by 1 is 3.
So show me that. Don't just say it, show it. How are you going to show that to me?
By dividing.
Which one are you dividing?
3
1 divided by 3 or 3 divided by 1?
3 divided by 1.
So what is 3 divided by 1?
3. 6 divided by 2 is 3.
6 divided by 2 is
3.
9 divided by 3 is 3.
Did all of these stay the same?
Yeah.
Yep, it's all 3. You get, no matter what size of bag you get, you're basically paying $3 a pound. So yes, it's proportional.
Why is it smelly?
Constant proportionality is 3. Now, there's one more thing that I did on the teacher page that I haven't shown you an example of yet. It's writing an equation.
So, writing that.
So when you write an equation, every equation, I don't care what type of problem it is talking about. if it says to write an equation, you're going to follow the example of y equals kx. In this case, your y's are the cost. Does the cost stay the same?
No.
The cost does not stay the same going down this table, does it?
No.
So y stays as y because you don't know how many dollars it's going to cost, right? Equals. Remember what K stands for?
A constant?
For the constant. Does this have a constant?
Yes.
What is it?
3.
So we're going to take this 3 and put it in place of the K. X. X stands for pounds. Does the pound stay the same?
No.
We put X. Okay, now watch. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. This equation helps you fill out that table. If you guys wrote it the other way, if you wrote it as 3x equals y, is that still correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the exact same thing. That's just saying, okay, let's take 3 times 1 equals 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. There's your 3 from the equation. There's your x and your y. This is your x. This is your y. Okay? Any questions on that? Ready for another one?
Yes.
Time and distance. We're driving down the highway. So let's say they're girls. They just left for basketball, right? Let's say in 1 hour, they have made it 50 miles. In 2 hours, they've made it 70. In 3 hours, they've made it 90 miles. Is this proportional or not?
No.
Why not? How can you prove it? Okay, look up here. I need to do this again. Which one's your x, which one's your y? Your time or your distance is your x?
The time is your x
Why is time x?
because that's how much you multiply.
This relates to your science and science fair projects. You know how they say your independent versus dependent variables?
Yeah.
I will always tell you the independent, the x stands on its own. Which one goes on its own without you doing anything?
Time.
Time or distance?
Time.
Time. We don't control time. So that's your x. How far we go depends on how long we've been driving. Right? Okay, so that means we're going to follow to find your constant y divided by x. 50 over 1. What's 50 divided by 1?
50.
Next one, 70 divided by 2. These two the same?
No.
So do we have a constant of proportionality? Who asked that question? Angel asked a very good question. If I tell you to write an equation, what did I tell you? Which format did they tell you these equations will always be in? Y equals kx, right? What's k? What does k stand for?
It's the proportion. The concept of
The constant of proportionality. Do we have a constant of proportionality?
Nope.
So can we write an equation?
Nope.
You can't write an equation if there's no constant. What do you guys think so far?
It's
It's easy but kind of confusing.
Why is it kind of confusing?
You know what? Never mind. I understand.
Not that I disagree with you, because I agree. People get confused on this all the time. What parts get confused? Just trying to keep it straight, right? When we look at it piece by piece, it's okay. When we look at it all at once, that's going to be the worst part. So guess what?
The
You guys should be ready so we can go as soon as I'm done. We got several things to do in this one. So what's so horrible about this problem?
It's long.
It's really long. It's a word problem, right? What is it asking of us?
A lot.
Not just to solve it. It's asking us three different things, right?
yeah.
Reading that problem, the cost for 2.5 pounds of meat is $7.20. Find the constant of proportionality. Then write an equation relating cost to pounds. How much will 4 pounds cost? Okay? What's the first thing it wants us to do?
Find the
constant
constant of proportionality.
Find the constant. We have to find the constant. What information do we need to find the constant?
2.5 pounds
So Raquel, how would we set this up? I'm going to help you out here just a little bit. We want it set up as y divided by x. What is our y? Why 2.5? Remember what I always say when we set up for the rates and the ratios? Do you want pounds per dollar or dollars per pound? Do you want to know how many pounds you get for paying $1 or how many dollars you have to pay for 1 pound? Which one do you want to know?
The pound.
Okay, so the y would be the pound. The x is the. You want to know how many pounds per dollar?
No.
Yeah, we want it the other way around. We want dollars per pound. Because I want to know if I get 1 pound, how much do I have to hand the cashier at the register? I don't want to walk into Walmart with $5 and have to walk to the register and go, how much meat can I get with this?
Well, actually, some people do the same.
I do that.
But you know what the cashier has to do?
That's just
They have to do this to figure it out.
That would suck.
Versus if you know where to look on the price tags, it will tell you the unit price and you can figure it out.
Oh, that's smart.
go around
Okay,
Walmart.
so how many dollars is it?
$7.20.
How many pounds is it? Do I have to write it as a fraction? How can I write that?
2.5.
What are we going to do with those two decimals?
Divide.
Do it.
Does anyone want to have a calculator?
So in other words, to challenge you tomorrow when Dr. Woods is
No.
here, I'm going to take away all the calculators. Two dudes came in last time and you guys were like all losing it.
There was a lot of dudes the last time. There's like 4.
There's like 2. It's 2.88. 2.88.
288.
I thought two for all of you.
So what's the constant?
$2.88 for each pound.
Yes and no.
No interest.
Okay, the constant is the 2.88.
Yeah.
That's your constant of proportionality.
Yeah.
The meaning of the constant is that it's $2.88 per pound.
I said that.
So when it tells you to, it starts with an I and I forgot my word. Interpret. When it tells you to interpret the meaning, guys, I don't have everyone paying attention. When it says to interpret the meaning of the constant, that means it's $2.88 per pound. All right? But right now, it just says find the constant. That's what you need. What's the next thing it asks for?
Write an equation relating to cost per pound.
Write an equation. So what did I tell you to always follow when writing an equation?
Y equals
No.
K He likes to copy me.
People who are not paying attention. So right now, I want you guys to fill that in. What is the correct equation to be using? We got you started. Now fix that equation and actually help.
Write an equation relating to cost per pound.
What'd you say?
I found it. I did it. I did it.
I got it.
Y equals
Good. Home check. Good. Home check.
Okay.
No.
Home check this.
Okay.
I might be
You can have
wrong,
the
but
good
whatever.
one.
No. I don't want to verify if it's wrong. Check my
Wait. No.
Actually, no, mark it if it's wrong. It's wrong.
I'm gonna check. Why? Why is it?
Y equals 2.88.
No.
Constant. It's Hudson, you little turd.
I'm not sure.
You're on
I'm
camera.
a human being.
It was right. It's his.
I did it better on his than theirs. No.
How can you do it like that?
I was confused. I thought you had yours on then. All right, here we go. So do you guys have an equation? 3, 2, 1.
I know.
What?
You can't say anything from
No, lies.
What?
You know what lies?
Do you guys have an equation?
Yes.
No. Yes.
It's Y equals 2.88 and X.
4.
I don't want to put K.
Okay. Is that all it wants us to do?
No.
What else does it want?
How much will 4 pounds cost?
This is too complicated.
For you. Well, guess what? You guys have an equation. This is easy. This is the easy part. You substitute in, you solve. How much will 4 pounds cost? Is pounds your Y or your X?
X.
So down here underneath X, we replace it with what? What do we put for X? What do we put instead of X?
4.
4, 5.
4. Rick.
How much will 4 pounds cost? 4 pounds. Is that your Y value or your X value?
Why?
4 pounds. Look over here. Pounds is your X. So underneath that X, we're changing it to a 4. Everything else comes down. Well, now what do we have to do?
Multiply.
Go ahead.
2.88 times 4?
11.52.
11.52.
Oh, I like D'Angelo's answer better.
Me too.
Just because he labeled it.
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, we don't do that.
That's rude.
You guys mock me all the time.
I don't.
For real.
I'm nice.
I'm nicer.
I'm nice too, but I still mock them.
I'm nicer.
What questions do we have?
I mean, not you fart.
Lies.
Hey, guys, you're on camera. Please straighten up.
I forgot. Oh, I can do a turn for the camera.
It's okay.
Yeah, you shouted that in front of the camera.
It's okay.
That's what I need to know.
Hey,
Stop me.
oh, I can't wait for the next lesson.
I'm gonna show my mom
What's
this
that?
video.
Alright.
She's gonna come
I want
see
you guys to go get your butts.
it.
My mom actually sued Amelia because she caught me snoring. Yeah. Because Amelia was
What's this dog?
You hit Angel. You hit Angel.
I don't have any more
You guys have one problem to do. So get a piece of notebook paper out. Go use one of mine.
What does it break?
Hey, you guys have one problem. You get that one problem done correctly, you're on homework.
Yes.
Page 208.
What the hell?
Are you guys another email?
I already did, guys. Page 208.